How do you measure a life lived in the shadows of greatness yet full of quiet resilience? Jermaine Jackson's story is not the one the world typically imagines. While history remembers the Jackson family for its music and fame, Jermaine's journey is about endurance, faith, and navigating life's storms with dignity. He helped build one of the most influential musical dynasties in history, witnessed triumphs and tragedies, lost loved ones, and still found a way to continue. His life is a testament to loyalty, sacrifice, and learning to find peace after decades of pressure and public scrutiny. Beyond the stage lights and applause, Jermaine Jackson embodies the quieter, unseen side of legacy. The man behind the music, shaped by discipline, family, and the weight of responsibility. A childhood without space to dream. Jermaine Jackson was born into a world with very little room to imagine or relax. Growing up in Gary, Indiana, in a small two-bedroom house shared by 11 people, every inch of space was claimed by necessity. Privacy was non-existent, and every day was structured around survival and cooperation. His father, Joseph, worked long shifts at a steel mill, exhausted but steadfast in his commitment to provide for the family, while his mother, Catherine, balanced household care with part-time work and deep faith. Resources were limited, meals were simple, and clothes were often passed down. Yet, amid scarcity and pressure, the household held a sense of resilience. Jermaine's early life demanded endurance, shaped his perception of responsibility, and taught him the meaning of quiet strength even before he had a chance to dream. Discipline, faith, and emotional weight. Jermaine grew up under two powerful influences, his father's strict discipline and his mother's unwavering faith. Joseph Jackson believed that discipline was the key to survival and demanded obedience, respect, and excellence from his children. Mistakes were not easily forgiven, and Jermaine learned early to navigate boundaries carefully. Catherine, meanwhile, offered gentleness, prayer, and encouragement, providing an emotional counterbalance to her husband's sternness. Even so, the household carried a subtle, lingering grief from past family losses, creating an environment where love was present, but often restrained. Jermaine internalized this emotional weight, learning to navigate stress, silence, and high expectations, while also absorbing his mother's quiet lessons in faith and compassion. A quiet child, learning to observe. In this environment, Jermaine developed keen observational skills. He learned to watch, listen, and adapt rather than speak out, understanding that caution could protect him from conflict. He admired his parents' strengths in different ways, respecting his father's authority while finding comfort in his mother's calm presence. This early quietude shaped his personality, teaching him to internalize emotions rather than express them outwardly. Beneath this restraint, however, Jermaine nurtured a sensitive and thoughtful nature, which would later define his relationships, musical instincts, and his role in the Jackson family's dynamic. Music as refuge and language. Music became Jermaine's escape, and his language long before it became his career. He absorbed rhythms from his father's guitar, hymns sung by his mother, and percussive sounds made by his brothers. In music, he found clarity, structure, and a way to express feelings without words. This early connection to sound taught him how to support others musically, how to blend rather than dominate, and how to find peace amid chaos. Music was both sanctuary and instruction, preparing him to contribute meaningfully to the family's future endeavors while preserving his own inner balance. The accident that changed everything. A small but pivotal event set the family on a new path. When one of his older brothers accidentally broke a string on their father's guitar, Joseph saw both talent and potential in his children. The incident catalyzed a transformation from childhood play to disciplined musical training. Jermaine was assigned the bass guitar and certain vocal responsibilities, roles that suited his measured and steady temperament. He embraced the discipline, practiced tirelessly, and learned musical precision far beyond his years. That moment marked the beginning of a lifelong connection to music that would define his contributions to the Jackson 5 and beyond. Growing up under pressure. Jermaine's early years were defined by rigorous rehearsals, often held in the crowded living room with furniture pushed aside to make space. Mistakes were corrected immediately, and perfection was always the goal. Childhood leisure and play were replaced by a sense of duty and responsibility to the family's growing musical ambitions. Jermaine carried this weight with quiet determination, understanding that his role was integral to the survival and success of the family unit. Pride coexisted with loss as he learned that opportunity often demanded sacrifice and that personal freedom came second to collective progress. Thrust into fame. Too soon. In 1969, when the Jackson 5 signed with Motown Records, Jermaine's life changed abruptly. At just 14, he was thrust into the professional world of music, touring, performing, and balancing immense expectations. His voice complemented Michael's bright tenor, creating a harmony that defined the group's sound. Despite the excitement, the experience was intimidating. Jermaine navigated fear, responsibility, and a constant need to perform with precision. Fame arrived alongside pressure, and though he contributed significantly to the group's success, the public often overlooked his role, leaving him to balance pride and quiet endurance. Touring, exhaustion, and lost youth. The grueling schedule took its toll. Nearly 300 shows a year meant sleeping on buses, eating quickly, and maintaining vocal health under constant strain. While peers enjoyed typical teenage experiences, Jermaine navigated hotel rooms, stage lights, and relentless travel. Exhaustion was both physical and emotional, yet he endured silently, driven by dedication to his craft and family. Success brought applause, but also isolation. Childhood, friendships, and normal adolescent experiences were sacrificed for the sake of performance, forging a resilience that would remain essential throughout his life. Standing beside a rising star. As Michael's star ascended, Jermaine assumed the role of the family's anchor. He celebrated his brother's talent while quietly navigating his own feelings of obscurity. Loyalty guided him more than ego, and he provided emotional stability to both siblings and the group as a whole. Jermaine's contributions often went unrecognized publicly, yet he remained steadfast, balancing his pride with humility. In these moments, he learned that supporting others could be both an act of love and a test of personal endurance, shaping his understanding of family, collaboration, and personal fulfillment. The split that changed everything. In 1975, the Jackson family faced a pivotal decision, leaving Motown to pursue creative freedom. Jermaine, married to Hazel Gordy, found himself torn between family loyalty and marital ties. His decision to remain with Motown fractured the group, strained relationships, and created lingering emotional distance. Although love persisted, Jermaine carried the consequences of his choice quietly, reflecting on the personal and familial costs of ambition, loyalty, and compromise. This period reinforced the complexities of balancing personal relationships with professional aspirations, teaching lessons about sacrifice and emotional resilience. Finding his own voice. Transitioning to a solo career, Jermaine sought to establish an identity independent of the Jackson 5. Albums like Let's Get Serious showcased his talent and artistic vision, affirming his capability as a solo performer. Yet Michael's monumental success with Thriller reminded Jermaine that public recognition could be fleeting and unevenly distributed. He reconciled pride in his brother's achievements with his own desire for validation, ultimately finding fulfillment in artistic expression and self-discovery rather than in public acclaim. Love, marriage, and emotional distance. Jermaine's marriage to Hazel began with hope, joy, and a sense of partnership. Fatherhood brought fulfillment, yet the pressures of career, fame, and personal expectations created emotional distance over time. Communication sometimes faltered, leading to choices that caused regret. The eventual end of the marriage was marked by dignity rather than conflict, reflecting Jermaine's approach to life. Quiet accountability, reflection, and the willingness to learn from mistakes. This chapter underscored the importance of presence and effort in relationships, even when perfection is unattainable. Loss that changed everything. The death of Michael in 2009 was a profound turning point for Jermaine. Losing a brother meant losing shared history, memories, and a source of emotional grounding. Public mourning contrasted sharply with his private grief, which he carried quietly and reflectively. Each subsequent loss, the passing of parents, friends, and mentors, deepened his awareness of life's fragility and the enduring impact of family bonds. These experiences shaped his later years, teaching him that peace comes not from avoiding grief, but from confronting it with honesty and resilience. The quiet truth. Jermaine Jackson's life is not defined solely by the spotlight or family fame. It is a story of endurance, reflection, love, and loss. In the quieter chapters, he has found acceptance, understanding, and peace. The public may know the music, the fame, and the performances, but the true measure of Jermaine Jackson is his ability to navigate life's challenges, embrace responsibility, and discover a sense of purpose and serenity in the later years of his life. His story is a testament to the power of quiet resilience and the enduring human spirit.